Hey friends, thanks for clicking on the video today. So last week I did a whole video talking about macronutrients and micronutrients and common dieting methods. And as I was editing that video last week, I started thinking, man, I missed a lot of good stuff. And so after taking a poll on Instagram and asking you if you wanted me to do a vlog series on nutrition, it was overwhelming how many people said yes. So today's video is going to be all about calories and how to track your calories if that's something that you're interested in doing, what the recommended amount of calories are for an average person, and all of that good stuff, just to give you information about nutrition. It's such a broad topic. There's so many different directions you could go in, so that's why I decided, I think it would be really cool to do an entire series on this and break down a video each week about different topics. So I've got all those planned out for the next couple weeks, and I'm really excited to share that with you. So hopefully this is helpful, and yeah, let's get rolling. So, what is the daily recommended amount of calories that we should be consuming? I wish it was a lot easier than what I'm about to say, but it's not. We're all different. We all have different goals. What you eat and consume is gonna depend on how active you are, your age, your height, your weight, your gender. All of those things play into what you should be eating or how much you should be eating on a daily basis. So what I'm about to share is just a very, very loose amount, loose percentages. Nothing is set in stone. There is no 100% guaranteed this is how many calories that every person should be eating every day. No. They're all recommended percentages and they're a range. So last week, like I said, we talked about macronutrients. So there's protein, fat, and carbs, and that's what your calories are consumed, or what your calories are made of. So that's what you should be tracking in order to see progress. If you want to lose weight, gain weight, maintain weight, whatever your goal is, you should be looking at those three things in terms of whatever your goals are. So for instance, for protein, the recommended amount of protein on a 2,000 calorie diet, so this is very generic, is anywhere between 10 to 35% of the overall calories. And then for fat, it's 20 to 35%, and carbs, it's 45 to 65%. So those are a lot of numbers. What does this mean? How many calories is this? How do you break this down? How do you translate this into your food and all of that? What is the practical use of this? So if we were taking a 2,000 calorie diet and we were breaking this down, let's say we want to start at about 700 calories we want to get from protein. So that's about 175 grams of protein for the day. Let's say you want to take 400 calories of carbs, of fats. We want to take 400 calories of fat for the day. That breaks down to about 44 grams of fat in your diet. And then let's say you want about 900 calories of carbs. That breaks down to about 225 grams of carbs. So all those numbers are very confusing. How do we track this? So I use my Macros Plus, which is a really great tool because you can customize how many protein or how much protein, fat, and carb you want in your day instead of like MyFitnessPal, which doesn't let you customize it. So I'm just gonna show you, this is what it looks like. So as you can see, I haven't tracked in a while. So basically at the top you have your numbers that you are going to consume for the day. So I had originally 136 protein, 141 carb, 50 fat. And yeah, that's when I was dieting. Anyway, so what you would do is those numbers that I just told you, the grams, you would just put that amount up here, and then when you're tracking your food every day, if you're eating foods that have barcodes on them, all you have to do is scan the barcode and then put in the amount, the serving size that you're wanting, and then you can adjust that depending on how much you can fit into that number, that whatever that value is for the day. So you'll definitely need a scale. Obviously, fruits and vegetables aren't gonna have a barcode, so it's a little bit more difficult, but they do have pre-packaged fruits and vegetables, which I buy a lot of because I just don't like to cut up broccoli and cauliflower and all that stuff. So I buy the pre-packaged broccoli, so it was easy for me to just scan that brand and then it popped up. But now I wanna show you guys, how do you read a food label? So I'm going to show you something that I usually eat every week, and that is this plant-based pasta, protein pasta. It's super, super delicious. I love it. I eat it every week, and I haven't gotten sick of it yet, so there you go. But on the label here, you have everything you need to know about this particular food item. So you can see the fat highlighted, carbohydrates, and protein. Those are your main three things that you're looking at when you're looking at either losing, maintaining, or gaining weight. Other things that are important, obviously sodium's important, fiber's important, and I'll talk about those things in another video, but for today, I wanna stick to this. So at the top of this label, you'll see serving size, 2 ounces, and in parentheses, it says 56 grams dry, so that's important. So when you're weighing this out and when you're trying to figure out, how much am I eating? You're gonna wanna weigh this dry before you cook it. Sometimes it'll tell you like raw or those kind of things, so when you're weighing it, you wanna weigh it raw before you cook it, because otherwise this amount is not accurate when you cook it, because it's measuring it dry or raw or whatever. So with this, so 56 grams on your scale. So once you get a scale, there's an option to look at like ounces and pounds and grams. And so it's measuring all of these things when you do that. So this is the serving size, 2 ounces or 56 grams. If you wanna increase or decrease that, put it in your phone and measure it under grams, not ounces, and then you can adjust either protein, fat, carb, or whatever you're trying to adjust. So if you want to eat more than the serving size, you definitely can. This isn't like you have to eat 2 ounces regardless, because this is what the label is. If you want to increase it, you can. If you want to decrease it, you can. You just have to figure out how that's going to fit into your macronutrient intake for the day. So that's just one example. And yeah, I know that this can be like super confusing and kind of difficult, and it is starting out because you have to force yourself to read labels. Like, you are actually looking at what your food is made out of, and it can be difficult, but it's also really important because most people don't know what their food is made out of. So in this case, this pasta actually has a lot of protein in it compared to most pastas that have maybe like 6 or 7 grams of protein and like double or triple the carbohydrate intake. So this is a great macronutrient friendly meal. So it can be difficult, but it's also very important because you can see what your food is made out of. You're actually becoming aware of the nutrition that you're putting in your body. And yeah, so there's a benefit to it. That's why I like tracking. It also allows you to understand serving sizes because most people don't understand what a serving size is. So all of those things are great in terms of, figuring out how to make nutrition work into your life, and just understanding food. So yeah, and I even more than that, like I would recommend having a food diary, like making note of things like, oh, this is not make me feel good, I don't like this, or this made me bloated. Okay, what did I eat? And making note of that. So even just doing things like that is gonna be super helpful in, deciding what you should eat and what's gonna fuel you. So all of these percentages and numbers that I just read to you are very, very flexible. There's nothing set in stone. There's not one way. That's why it can be a little tricky. And a lot of people have coaches and things like that to help them figure out, oh, like you probably could function on a higher carb diet, or you could function on a higher fat diet, or whatever it is. So it's an art and it's a science, and some people do it really well, and some people like me, I don't do it that well. So yeah, but I am glad that I did it, because I learned a lot about food, so, which is really important. So yeah, I hope this is helpful. I'm really excited about this vlog series. I hope you guys learn a ton. If you have any questions or want to know more about something, or anything really, please comment below, send me a message. All of my contact information is in the description box. I love hearing from you. I love feedback. So let me know how you're enjoying the series so far, and I will see you guys next week. Peace out. Go eat yummy food. Bye.